This is Atlantic Television Network. Welcome to Global News. First, the highlights. Tinubu is happy with Fubara, says NSA. FG declares December 25th, 26th, and January 1st public holidays. Tinubu's 2026 budget a debt trap, says ADC. FG projects 60.97 trillion naira revenue for 2026. Trump calls ambassador to Nigeria. Super Eagles ready for Tanzania test, says Ndidi. Police release Doris Ogala after 2 days in detention. National Security Advisor NSA Malam Nuhu Ribadu has commended River State Governor Saf Siminalayi Fubara for his responsible leadership, stating that President Bola Tinubu is happy with the governor for making River State one of the most peaceful states in the country and commended Fubara for his leadership style. Malam Nuhu Ribadu, who disclosed this on Monday when he led a presidential delegation comprising the Ministers of Works, David Umahi and Environment, Balarabe Lawal, and top officials of NNPCL on a courtesy visit to the River State Government House in Port Harcourt, said the federal government delegation was in the state to consolidate ongoing peace efforts in Ogoniland for the transformation of the area. He said President Bola Tinubu specifically directed him to thank Governor Fubara, expressing happiness with his leadership style and coordination of the discussion on the resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni, and also conveyed the president's appreciation to the people of Ogoni for their support, patience, and understanding, and further hailed the state government for providing a campus for the University of Environment, as well as accommodating the South Zonal Office of the National Security Advisor. However, the Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi, described the Ogoni Peace Initiative as strategic to the renewed unity of Nigeria, stressing that the President takes personal interest in the well-being of the Niger Delta people, adding that the President has ordered a redesign of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway to pass through Ogoniland. Also, the Minister of Environment said the Ogoni cleanup project remains a priority for the ministry, and the project was recommended by the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, including the mangrove restoration, healthcare delivery, human capital development, and women empowerment initiatives. Responding, Fubara commended President Tinubu for his intervention, saying it reflects the actions of a leader who genuinely loves River State, adding that the efforts of resolving a crisis that had lingered for over 3 decades in Ogoniland was not an easy task, stressing that beyond physical infrastructure, the president's administration is rebuilding confidence in the region towards the peace process and managing emerging conflicts for sustainable development to take place. River State Elders Council has facilitated felicitated, with the FCT Minister and leader of Renewed Hope in Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, on the occasion of his 58th birthdays. The Rivers Elders Council, while giving thanks to God Almighty for enriching him with a life defined by purpose, service and courage, hailed Chief Wike as an audacious top performer who defies obstacles and delivers results. The celebration took place in Port Harcourt, where the elders acknowledged the ongoing transformation of the Federal Capital Territory through infrastructure expansion, highlighting the minister's recent intervention that broke the 14-year log jam in the construction of the Akpo Kashi Road, and also commended Wike for his resilience, can-do attitude and commitment to excellence in all assignments. Those present at the event include Chairman Rivers Elders Council, Chief Ferdinand Anabraba, retired Chief Honorable Chinyere Igwe, Pro-Chancellor, Ignatius Ajuri University of Education, South APC Chairman, Chief Victor Giadam Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly, Martin Amehule, amongst others.
The cutting of this cake will be in a very different way. I've always mentioned the name Jesus, but for us, there is a name that is popular for us, and that is any EW. That's what we use in cutting this cake. Once we have the last word, W, we'll get the cake cut. The chairman, please, we are waiting for you. That's why we've not pronounced.
Just squeeze in somewhere.
So with your house complete, we urge you to cut the cake and give me E.
E.
W.
W. To you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Pro-Chancellor and Chairman, Governing Board at the Ignatius Ajuri University of Education, Rumolumini, Port Harcourt, Chief Honorable Dr. Chinyere Igwe has expressed gratitude to His Royal Majesty King Engineer Chukwuemeka Woji Okocha of Rumolumini Kingdom and the entire community for maintaining a cordial relationship with the institution. Dr. Igwe stated this when he led his management team on a courtesy visit at the Palace of His Royal Majesty King Engineer Chukwuemeka Woji Okocha in Rumolumini Kingdom on Monday, December 22nd, 2025, as part of the activities for stakeholders' engagement. ATN News completes the report.
Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Board of the Ignatius Ajuri University of Education, Rumolumini, Port Harcourt, retired Chief Honorable Dr. Chinyere Igwe has expressed gratitude to His Royal Majesty King Engineer Chukwuemeka Woji Okocha of Rumolumini Kingdom and the entire community for maintaining a cordial relationship with the institution. Dr. Igwe stated this when he led his management team on a courtesy visit at the Palace of His Royal Majesty King Engineer Chukwuemeka Woji Okocha in Rumolumini Kingdom on Monday, December 22nd, 2025, and the chiefs in council as part of the activities and stakeholders' engagement. The Pro-Chancellor reaffirmed that the university is focused on producing graduates that will meet global standards. Dr. Igwe also stated that the visit was aimed at paying homage to the paramount ruler and to strengthen the university's partnership with the kingdom.
I want to thank your community for the good relationship that we have with our school, Ignatius Ajuri University, Rumolumini, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. It is your project, you must own it up. Because if you don't own it as a community, you destroy it, you are the greatest loser. By the singular fact that this community, this university is located in this community, it sends the name of this community to far and beyond. Because today, the world over knows there is a community like Rumolumini in this state.
In his speech, His Royal Majesty King Engineer Chukwuemeka Woji Okocha commended the university leadership and governing council led by Honorable Dr. Chinyere Igwe for the visit and continuous engagement with the kingdom. He offered prayers for the institution and assured them of the kingdom's continued support, adding that the existing relationship will create further opportunities for the people of Rumolumeni.
It doesn't matter. The most important thing is that we are praying. Nobody can take it away from us. Nobody can take it away from us. Rightly or wrongly. There is no point where you can satisfy everyone. It is doing that which is necessary. It is doing that which is necessary for good. So as an economic consultant, we congratulate you and we commend you. We rest assured of our support. We always support you and support that which concerns you the best.
I am Alawuru Praise, ATN News, Port Harcourt.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the Eyo Festival, scheduled to hold on December 27, will showcase the rich culture of Lagos to the world. Sanwo-Olu, who discloses at the Ijade Opa Eyo ceremony held at Marina, where he expressed delight that the festival is being held this year, said the state executive had always presented the Eyo symbol as gifts to foreign visitors who had always wondered when they would experience the festival. He therefore appreciated the Oba of Lagos, Oba Ruwan Akiolu, for deeming it fit to announce the festival for this year. The Eyo Festival last held in 2017, and it is known for its iconic white-clad masquerades and vibrant display of chants, dance, and cultural symbolism.
Able to apprehend like 181 of them, and they are in our holding center right now. We have about 45 male, 77 female, that's the adults. Then the children, we have 58 of them. When we apprehend, we profile, we take care of their welfare, then we train those that want to be trained, and those that are not willing to be trained, we repatriate them back to their home states.
Security Task Force in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Operation Sweep, has stepped up efforts to curb activities of miscreants in strategic locations during the Christmas and New Year celebrations in Abuja. The task force on Monday, led by the Director, Department of Security Services, FCT, Adamu Gware, visited Apple Bridge, Area 1 Roundabout, Julius Berger Junction, and Otako Motor Park to implement the decision. Gware, represented by Dr. Olumiji Peter, said the administration, in partnership with security agencies, have also deployed men and officers to suspected black spots to provide tight security during the festive period.
Able to apprehend like 181 of them, and they are in our holding center right now. We have about 45 male, 77 female, that's the adults. Then the children, we have 58 of them. When we apprehend, we profile, we take care of their welfare, then we train those that want to be trained, and those that are not willing to be trained, we repatriate them back to their home states.
Also speaking, head of the FCT Social Development Department, Ukachi Adebayo, said about 481 beggars have been evacuated in the last 2 weeks.
Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Yenson Wike, has given a marching order to the security agencies under the Operation Sweep that every form of criminalities should be crushed accordingly. And Operation Sweep have been doing a very wonderful job, like we have seen. FCT have been relatively peaceful and secured for fun goer and those who have been visiting the recreational centers. And we want to sustain on this achievement. So that is why we have this sustained monitoring of motor parks, dismantling illegal motor parks too that can be used as an avenue for one chance operators and abduction of people, and also any place that we know is not that harbors criminal elements, which most of those shanty places have been dislodged already. And we want to tell the miscreants and the criminal elements, people in the FCT, that FCT is too hot for you. For this Yuletide season, you don't have a safe haven here, and they should take note of that. Everybody is happy because FCT is known for being a peaceful place, as the capital of our nation is the golden bride, like I always say. And you don't allow anything to touch your golden bride at every point in time. That is why the minister is particular about the safety of lives and property of every resident. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Yenson.
On his part, the chairman, National Union of Road Transport Workers, Otako Motor Park, Adamu Abubakar, said motorists without proper identity are not allowed to operate in the park.
For the few days, I've seen the handwork of our ministers over the security in Abuja, using task force in Abuja. Most especially, they were dealing with one chance always, both day and night, on which we witnessed over it. And in terms of our park here, quite okay. If you are non-registered, we can't load your vehicle. You must be our registered. We have your contact number. We have your address. And you must come through somebody. Your passport will be with us, and your guarantor will be with his passport will still be with us before we are able to register you. So we do not register people anyhow.
FCT Mandate Secretary for Education, Dr. Danlami Hayo, says all FCT schools are well secured without threat, and 100 schools will be completely renovated this year, while others will be completed within the first quarter of 2026. Dr. Danlami, who was reinstated last week from suspension, said he resumed office on 22nd December 2025 in Abuja.
All the FCT schools are very safe. They are very safe. We don't have any security threats in FCT school. We don't have any problem now. As we can see, if we have such kind of problem, we are not the one to inform the minister. Even the security agency will inform the minister. Have DSS, police, national security, civil, what do you call it? Civil defense. They will inform the minister without our knowledge, because they are undergoing series of meeting, their security meeting and everything. So we are not the one to inform the minister, yes, there is a security threat in school or that. We just advise.
So would you mind to comment on the renovation of schools?
Of course. I have been saying it over the radios, over the daily news and everything. What the minister is doing now, definitely no any state in the federation is doing it. No any state in the federation is doing it. Because I believe more than UNESCO requirement, because according to UNESCO requirement is 26% of the total capital budget, not recurrent, total capital budget goes to education. And now when you calculate what the honorary minister spends or is spending on education from 2023 to now, it's above our 26% of capital budget. Over 100 schools were completely renovated. Some are ongoing, some renovation is completed, some are almost completed. So I think very soon, since the minister said it in various platform and occasions, yes, maybe we will expect a kind of commissioning of projects, educational projects, more especially this time that in the first quarter of 2026, we would expect about 60% of our schools renovation completed. First quarter of 2026, 60 to 70% of our schools renovations will be completed.
The mandate secretary said FCT minister has good relationship between the student academy performance and school rehabilitation exercise, and called on residents and parents to embrace laudable achievements of the FCT minister in education sector.
And secondly, when you look at the our performance in both WAEC, NECO, but sometime you journalists used to judge without considering the population. If you are going to judge a performance of senior secondary schools according to population, you may end up making wrong conclusion. You have to assess the number of schools, the number of students in a state. So out of, for instance, if Lagos State has 1 million students, out of 1 million students that sat for senior secondary school examination, about 700,000 schools, 5 credit, including English and Maths. You understand? 700. Look at the population. And if FCT, we have 100,000, and out of this 100,000, you understand, at least 900 school 5 credits, including English and mathematics. How can you assess this? FCT is higher. The FCT is higher. Don't look at whatever you are making a judgment. We are making conclusion about the academic performance. Look at the population first. You understand? Maybe if you want to go further, you can look at the gender, males and females. So whenever there is this kind of issues, please look at the population first. Among the number of students in FCT, how many scored 9 credit, 8 credit, 5 credit, including English and mathematics, so that you can make a conclusion, yes, FCT or any other state is now heading. You understand? So definitely what the minister is doing in FCT definitely has a very good relationship between the student academic performance and school renovation or rehabilitation exercise.
The mandate secretary also thanks the Minister of FCT for reinstating him back to his position, stressing that one of the first priority areas now is refresher training for directors to understand their position and limits.
As I came back now, one of the first priority areas now is refresher training. We have to embark on refresher training to make sure all the new directors that were just appointed and even the other directors undergo a series of training. Let them know their mandate, what they are supposed to do, how they are supposed to do, and which area do they need to consult their superior officers. Because what happened definitely is about the capacity of the director. A director cannot just write something, just circulate it without my approval and without the approval of the honorable minister. Even if I'm the minister of FCT, what happened that time, I must take this decision. I must take it. So that's why, yes, the minister has done right, and he discovered that, yes, I have no any hand on it. And so definitely we have to organize a kind of seminar or refresher programs for all the directors. Let them know who they are, their mandates, and their responsibilities, at least their responsibilities. Now let them know where they are, what is above their capacity, you understand? What is within their limit.
People's Democratic Party, PDP, has constituted a caretaker committee in Zamfara State. A statement by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Ini Ememobong, said the committee is charged with the responsibility of running the affairs of the party in Zamfara State, as stipulated in Section 21, Paragraph 2AB of our party's constitution, for a period not exceeding 90 days or until such time as a new executive shall be elected. The caretaker committee has Hassan Mohammed Daudoa as chairman and Mohammed Danbuba as secretary, while other members include the Shehu S. Fulani, Rabiu Lele Bakure, Musa Malaha, Sani Lasisi Kaura, and Hajia Hawa Kalu Makar. Federal government has declared Thursday, December 25 and Friday, December 26, 2025 as the public holidays to mark Christmas and Boxing Day. The government also declared Thursday, January 1, 2026 as a public holiday for the New Year celebration. A statement on Monday by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Interior, Dr. Magdalene Ajayi, said the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubumi Tunji Ojo, spoke on behalf of the federal government and extended warm Christmas and New Year greetings to Christians in Nigeria and around the world, as well as to all citizens, stressing that the festive season offers an important moment to reflect on the virtues of love, peace, and humility, and also the sacrifice embodied in the birth of Jesus Christ. He said such values remain essential to strengthening unity, tolerance, and harmony across the country, and urged Nigerians, regardless of religious or ethnic identity, to use the season to pray for national peace, security, and progress, while supporting the federal government's broader efforts towards development and cohesion. Dr. Tunji Ojo also appealed to citizens to remain law-abiding, vigilant and moderate in their celebrations and to cooperate with security agencies to ensure a peaceful and safe holiday period, and further wished all Nigerians a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Final batch of 130 students abducted from St. Mary's Catholic Primary and Secondary School in Papiri, Niger State, have regained their freedom, bringing to an end one of Nigeria's largest recent mass school kidnappings. Special advisor to the President on Media and Communication, Sunday Idare, who discloses in a post on his official X handle, said the freed children arrived in Mina, the Niger State capital, joining earlier batches released in phases over the past month, and the students were received at the Niger State Government House in a ceremony attended by Governor Mohamed Bago, who assured that health workers would examine the children before reuniting them with their families. The abduction occurred in the early hours of November 2021 when armed men on motorcycles stormed the boarding school in Papiri, Agwara local government area, and eyewitnesses said the attackers fired shots into the air to create panic before moving from dormitory to dormitory, rounding up students and staff. The chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Niger State and school proprietor, Most Reverend Bulus Dawa Yohana, said the incident caused immense anguish for families, the OLA Sisters Worldwide, the Diocese of Kontagora, and the local community, adding that the Niger State government initially blames the school for reopening without clearance, arguing that the attack occurred despite prior intelligence of heightened threats in the region. The school's principal, Felicia Guillaume, disputed the claim, insisting there was no prior warning or government circular notifying the school of a threat, and President Tinubu cancelled his attendance at the G20 summit in South Africa following the abduction, directing Vice President Kashim Shettima to represent him. Commitment to improving healthcare delivery across Nigeria, assuring citizens that ongoing reforms and stronger collaboration among all tiers of government will translate into better access to quality health services in the coming years. The assurance was given by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Daju Kachalum, at the 13th and 4th quarter 2025 meeting of the Ministerial Oversight Committee (MOC) held in Abuja. According to Kachalum, the Ministerial Oversight Committee was established to promote inclusiveness and coordination among the federal, state, and local governments, ensuring they work in synergy to strengthen the health system, improve service delivery, and ultimately save lives, adding that a major focus of the ministry in 2026 will be the expansion and strengthening of health insurance coverage. Kachalum disclosed that the ministry, in collaboration with the National Health Insurance Authority, is working towards significant improvement in the health insurance scheme by the end of the first quarter of 2026, with the aim of reducing out-of-pocket expenses for Nigerians.
Greatly. And I want to assure all of us seated here, the civil society, Nigerians, the media, that what you will see in 2026 will be much better than what you saw in the last 2 years, because we are working together. And as my colleagues have said, accountability, transparency is what we are giving to Nigerians under the health sector. And under the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President that holds the health sector as one of the very key and important mandates of his administration, I'm sure you will all agree that you've seen a great transformation. Health sector is not tangible. The things in health are not things you can count. They are intangible things, but you can feel them. And we assure you, under the Coordinating Minister for Health, Mohammed Adipate, the Minister of State, Dr. Isiaq Adekunle Salako, the entire team, the Federal Ministry of Health, the directors, the EDs, heads of agencies, that we assure all Nigerians that the health system, working together based on the compact signed earlier on last month. We signed the first one in 2023. We signed another. That the national health system will be the one that come years to come, you will remember this administration for changing the landscape.
On his part, the Director General of the National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Kelechi Ohiri, said the committee has provided a clear direction and strategy focused on accelerating impact, building on the foundations laid in recent years, adding that one of the key achievements of the committee has been the push for greater transparency in the disbursement of health funds, as well as in ensuring that Nigerians are better informed about how resources are released and utilized at the state and local government levels.
The second thing is accountability, which is where each gateway is here and being held accountable to say, what have we done with the resources we have, and not just through BHCPA, but also other resources. So this is the fourth meeting this year, and quarterly we come back to say what we have done. I think that is the spirit of the MOC that we should continue. And we're being held accountable not just by ourselves in government, but from our partners and also from Nigerians represented through civil society and through the media. I think the last thing which this rhythm has shown is that it's also a way for us to call ourselves to action, to improve upon the progress made. Indeed, 2025 has been a year of progress, but as we look for 2026, the expectations of Nigerians are that we accelerate at a faster pace to achieve some of these things. Being transparent with the challenges, testing our methods, and so we look forward to 2026 where we will make collective progress as an MOC.
In attendance were the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, and his Minister of State, Dr. Isiaq Adekunle Salako, and the meeting underscored the federal government's resolve to deepen reforms, improve accountability, and expand health insurance coverage as part of a broader effort to deliver equitable and effective healthcare services nationwide. Federal government is projecting about 60.97 trillion naira in oil revenue for the year 2026, lower than the earnings anticipated in the 2025 budget, reflecting more conservative assumptions on crude oil prices and production. The projection is based on an analysis and the calculation of data contained in the 2026 appropriation bill presented to a joint session of the National Assembly in Abuja by President Bola Tinubu, adding that the 2026 revenue estimate is anchored on a benchmark crude oil price of $64.85 per barrel, daily production of 1.84 million barrels, and an average exchange rate of 1,400 naira to the dollar. By comparison, the 2025 budget is based on a higher oil price benchmark of $75 per barrel and a more ambitious production target of 2.06 million barrels per day, with the same exchange rate assumption of 1,400 naira to the dollar. The comparison indicates a projected decline of about 17.98 trillion naira in oil revenue between 2025 and 2026, largely due to price fluctuation and lower production assumptions, while the 2026 benchmarks were seen to be deliberately conservative to account for uncertainties in the global oil markets and ongoing domestic challenges, including security issues and infrastructure constraints affecting crude oil production. Oil receipts remain a key component of government revenue, even as the administration intensifies efforts to boost non-oil income and strengthen fiscal sustainability. the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. FG declares December 25th, 26th and January 1st public holidays. Tinubu's 2026 budget a debt trap. FG projects 60.97 trillion naira revenue for 2026. Trump recalls ambassador to Nigeria, Super Eagles, ready for Tanzania. Test, says Ndidi. Police released Doris Ogala after 2 days detention. I am Francis Necker. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter and our X at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Net. And remember, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching.